Welcome, Hudson Valley. This is Conor, Walsh, host of In Touch, Townsquare Media, the Hudson Valley's award-winning public affairs and issues program. This week on In Touch, we speak with Rachel Johnson and Kate Guinan from the Center for the Prevention of Child Abuse, CPCA for short. We'll be discussing their updates to their Child Sex Trafficking initiative, along with their upcoming One Too Many 5K happening September 13th through 15th, and their event with Compassion Veterinary called Paws Pours for Prevention at the Benmarl Winery on September 29th. We invite you to join us and listen to a previously recorded conversation between Rachel, Kate, and myself here on In Touch. I'm so proud to announce that In Touch has received another 2 Excellence in Broadcasting Awards from the New York State Broadcasting Association for 2024. In Touch received the award for Outstanding Public Affairs Program or Series for the second year in a row. Not just that, but In Touch also received the award for Outstanding Editorial/Commentary. This recognition would not be possible without all of our phenomenal guests that we learn from and grow with every single week, and of course, you, the listener. Whether you've been listening for a while or you just found us, thank you for taking part in the conversation and staying in touch with what's going on in the Hudson Valley. Because of the awesome success of In Touch over the last year, we are expanding. We're launching a new spin-off series under the In Touch umbrella called Townsquare Spotlight. These spotlights focus on amazing celebrities and leaders passing through the Hudson Valley who are making an impact in pop culture. You can check out our latest spotlights wherever you listen to In Touch. Hello, Hudson Valley. You're listening to another episode of In Touch, Townsquare Media, the Hudson Valley's award-winning public affairs and issues program. We got a great episode for you guys today. I'm really excited about this one, especially when we have friendly faces who are returning. Really happy about this. And also the return of a dog interview. Yes, we have with us today members of the Center for the Prevention of Child Abuse. With us, we have Rachel Johnson, Senior Development Director, and Kate Guinan, a Marketing Associate and Peace's Handler. Who's Peace, by the way? Peace is the dog that's with us. Hi, Peace.
He's chilling out there on the floor.
He's just chilling. He's a good boy.
Yes.
But Rachel, Kate, how are you guys?
Oh, great. Thank you for having us in.
Absolutely. Glad to have you guys back in here. It's been a while since we had you. A little over a year, has it been?
I think it's been a little over a year.
It does not feel that long, though.
No.
I feel like we just talked like maybe a couple of months ago or something, so it's weird. But I'm really happy to have you guys in here. You guys have a really big September coming up. A lot of great things that are happening, so might as well just get into it. For anybody who didn't listen to the previous episode with you guys or just unfamiliar with the CPCA, could one of you guys give an overview of what the organization does?
Yeah, sure. Well, the mission is to prevent child abuse here in the Mid-Hudson Valley. So everything that we do, everything that we raise stays local. We've been in existence for 50 years. We are right down the road from you guys. We have several prevention programs to prevent child abuse. We also have a crisis intervention, which is our Child Advocacy Center, which provides a safe, nurturing place for children to come into our building and share their story. And many times it may be abuse, and if so, we help get them on the path to safety and healing, and we have a full team there ready to do that.
Absolutely. It's a terrific organization. It's an unfortunate situation, of course, but to be an advocate for children in these situations, that's so important. And it's really, it's like and nobody at any age should be going through that, but children especially, that's really, really rough. So then where does Peace fall into all of this then, our friendly furry companion?
Yeah, he's like he's our service dog, a therapy dog, and he's there to provide comfort to these children who come through. He also does, he'll go out in the community and do different events like this. He loves getting out and visiting folks in the community, so he'll do different events. But he's mainly working full-time in our building, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, there to greet children as they come in. There if a child needs him through a forensic interview or a medical exam, going into a therapy session, whatever really they may need. And having him there really helps children let down their guard and feel safe and begin telling their story. So we're lucky to have him.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And sometimes he is trained, and he has done this. Sometimes child victims will request that he accompany them into court.
Wow. No, that's big.
Where they are prosecuting, the offender.
That's big to
That
be able to
actually
have.
happened about a year ago.
Big
there
case.
was a child that presented her statement in court, and she wanted peace right there by her side.
Wow.
Because-
How to go with peace by her side then?
Oh, I think great. I mean, this person, came in, and this child would have him in while she was at the CPCA. So it was just a comforting thing to then have him in court with her. So it went great. Yeah.
Peace was really this child's constant throughout the entire case. So
That's unbelievable, and that's really remarkable. And I'm glad that peace can be around for all these kids, and that's really nice. But on a more kind of lighthearted and comical note, as we were talking about right before we got on the mic, the way he lays down and just kind of spreads out is hilarious. And Kate, you were just telling me before what people say when they see him sometimes. Could you talk about that here?
Oh, yeah, I mean, he just loves having people start, as soon as you start to pet him, he's like, oh yeah, this is it. He will like lay down, and you can just lay there and pat his belly. He just loves all the love that people will give him.
But then
He'll take it all.
And you're also saying, people ask, is like, is he okay?
Oh yeah, yes, he definitely. I mean, he's a happy pup, but he has those eyes that just kind of look a little.
draws you in.
Yeah, he definitely draws you in. And
Those true puppy dog eyes.
True
Absolutely.
puppy dog eyes. But he'll lay out on the ground, and he's just enjoying himself. But people will be like, is your dog okay? And it's like, oh yeah, this is just his demeanor. He just loves it.
He lives up to his name. His name is Peace, and he lives
Peace.
up to his name. He was specially selected for us. So you'll see, right, and I think in the times you've seen him, he never jumps, he never
no.
barks. And that's on purpose, because we never want to, child victims can sometimes be especially triggered or startled by those kinds of things. So he was specifically selected for us, and his demeanor is just that. It's peace. He was selected by educated canines for people with disabilities, and yeah, we're lucky. He fits right in. So
Beautiful.
he loves these breaks. So he'll be with children. He'll be working hard, and they recommend that he takes these kinds of breaks in between that hard work and those forensic interviews. So what you're seeing now, he's just in total relaxation mode.
I love it.
Yeah, we just completed the school year, and we go into the schools in Dutchess County, and we teach kids how to protect themselves against bullying, abuse, and trafficking. And this school year, we're so proud, we were able to increase the number of students and children that we reach. We ended this school year reaching close to 15,000
Oh, wow.
kids. And when you're reaching that many children, your disclosures tend to go up. And we had close to 230 disclosures. And then
Really?
some of those kids are going to then, depending on their circumstances and what they're disclosing, come through our building.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of work there for Peace. It's about 600 kids who come through our building every single year.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is kind of nuts to think about. And also, I think that's interesting, of course, how the numbers go up after, reaching out to all these kids. But one of the tragic things about this, when you're a kid, you don't always realize what's happening to you is wrong. It's just the norm for you.
Sure.
And you don't think anything of it. But then when you come out and you talk and you say these things and have these presentations, it kind of opens their eyes. And it's like, oh, should this not be happening to me when I go home after school? And things along those lines. It's tragic, but it's true. And I'm sure that probably happens more often than not, where it's kind of a light bulb moment where they didn't
Yes.
even realize.
Exactly. You hit it on the head, because if we were to go in schools and say, are you being a victim of child abuse, right? They'd have no idea what that means. So yes, it is that moment where they're going, oh, maybe what's been happening to me is not right. Or in many cases, maybe what's been happening to my friend is not. We see actually a lot of friends who come forward and say, this has been happening to my friend. And sometimes they're not even in the same school district, but they're sharing, this was told to me. Now, what do I do with this information?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it is the first time for many of them that they're realizing, oop, wait a minute, this is not quite right.
Yeah.
And we're giving them the tools and the resources to be able to deal with that.
No, absolutely. It's weird. I'll share a quick story of my own. I've worked with a number of camps throughout the years, and one of the camps that I worked for, I remember at sign out just having a random conversation, and this kid divulged some really, really traumatic sounding stuff. But to him, it was just a Tuesday afternoon, and he's just telling this while he's playing with his action figures, and I'm kind of sitting there like, you good, bud? And I took it to my director. We followed up, and I don't know where things went from there, but I know that everything started, going through the cycles of, it was like there was some legit abuse going on. Yeah. But like to talk to this kid, it was just like, oh yeah, this is my nightly routine, blah, 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 blah. I'm playing with my toys. And it was just heartbreaking.
Right.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah. Right. The child didn't know. And that's interesting that you mentioned the little action figures that this child was playing with. Our therapist, our trauma therapist that's right in our building, they'll often use play therapy as well with the kids. So, yeah.
It's just a simple moment for the kid, but just like, wow, just so eye-opening.
Yeah. Right.
So to be able to have this, I think it's incredible.
And we go to summer camps. You bring up another good point, summer camps. So, we don't stop because school is out.
Oh, yeah.
So we're presenting to summer camps all summer long. And I just got a call yesterday, actually, from one of them that says, oh, this is a circumstance. Is this something that we should report in? And we kind of talked through that. So, it can happen anywhere.
Yeah, it really can.
We have lots of successes, and lots of reasons to smile.
Yeah, and I mean, our curriculum also asks that we go into the schools twice within the school year. So sometimes a kid is almost absorbing the information on the first time that they are presented the information, and then by the second time that we come and present the second part of the curriculum, they're ready to come forward and share. And it's another reason why we also go into schools year after year, too, because it's not like one and done. And, you got the information and we move on from there. Each year they bring in a little bit more age-appropriate information for that school year. So as they progress, then you get into the middle schools, which we're getting into now. You're talking about dating and all of that. So, each year you're learning a little bit more, but it's also giving opportunity to allow the child to register if what is happening to them is not right.
Yeah. Wow. Seriously, I think that's really important, where the more exposure that you have to something, the more receptive that you'll be to it. That's something that they always talk about when it comes to marketing and advertising, but it also really is something when it comes to therapy and expressing oneself. The more opportunities that you have to express yourself, the better chance that you will finally open up. So I'm glad that you guys have that once earlier in the year and then once later. The moment that you guys said that, I'm over here is like, yes, that makes so much sense. Terrific. So, no, that's really awesome. Again, you're listening to In Touch, Townsquare Media, the Hudson Valley's award-winning public affairs and issues program. We're speaking with Kate and Rachel from the CPCA, the Center for the Prevention of Child Abuse. And we've been talking about a lot of how they go into schools and camps and how they spread this message and how they're able to reach out to a lot of kids in the community. Well, kids who had no idea that something might have been wrong, but because it was the norm to them, and then able to swoop in and able to help out. I think that's terrific. Your programs are awesome, and I feel like we could just do an entire episode just talking about what you're doing. But we want to talk about what's going on in September. September is going to be a big month for you. As you said, you go into the schools. That's, schools are going to be opening back up again, so you have all that. But you have two really awesome events. One in the more middle of the month, the One Too Many 5K. And then later in the month, hosting it with Compassion Veterinary, Paws Pours for Prevention at Benmarl Winery. Let's go in chronological order. Tell me about the One Too Many 5K.
Yeah, well, this is a special year. Lots of fives. Peace turned 5.
Happy birthday!
Right? This is our 5th annual One Too Many 5K on our 50th anniversary. So a real special year for us. I remember the first one that was started during COVID. The chair, actually, Philomena Finelli, who I know has been a guest on here from Impact PR as well, really helped us during COVID get this One Too Many 5K started, and it was virtual then. Now we have some in-person events that are a part of it, and it's just grown. Now we're over 350 people, and it's just a lot of fun. Kids, families, dogs. We like to say 5K your way.
Okay.
Because it's really about promoting getting your body moving, physical activity, quality family time, so people can hike it, bike it, run it, swim it. We had somebody dance it one year.
Okay.
Yeah, so all of that goes. And then, of course, we have our traditional avid runners who are keeping their time and their distance, and they're turning that in, and they want to know where they stack up in the competition and prizes. So One Too Many 5K, the one too many standing for even one child abused is one too many. Mm-hmm. You're right, it's in September. It's September 13th through the 15th. And our in-person events, on the 14th, we have what we call Battle of the Badges.
Oh, yes.
And we call it that because we have so many law enforcement, police, and firefighters and emergency personnel who run and walk alongside us, which is really fun. Of course, they're partners of ours. And Dutchess County Sheriff's Department and the Arlington Fire Department, Town of Poughkeepsie Police, they will all be there. And so we get to run and walk alongside them. And that's September 14th. That's a Saturday. That's going to be at 301 Manchester Crossing. That's the Manchester Crossing Rail Trail right off of Route 55 in Poughkeepsie, right there by the Children's Medical Group building. And we'll have a lot of fun things there for kids as well, face painting. There'll be coffee. There'll be a food truck, music. And then we'll kick off on the rail trail and do the 5K. So people can run it, they can walk it, or cheer us on. Some people don't do any of that. They grab their coffee and they cheer loudly for us, and we appreciate that as well. So if they're just going to come out, that is free. If they want to compete and run, they can sign up. It's $40. They can go call us, or they can go right to our website, the CPCA.org. They're going to see it right there on the banner, and they can click that and go through to the site and read more. So that's the 14th. And can I squeeze in also then on the 15th, on that Sunday, we have Best of Beacon. And Best of Beacon is just that. We've got a walk and run that goes through a nice scenic route there down by the waterfront. Long Dock. That's also going to be at 9 a.m. in Beacon, hosted by Libby Funeral Home and State Farm. And there'll be refreshments and prizes. So every child wins. We usually always have a prize for children, and every child gets a medal, and there's lots of other great prizes.
Children can also register.
Yes.
There is a child registration fee for $20. They get a T-shirt. And,
very cool.
Yeah, so we get a lot of track. It's fun. We get some track teams and cross country. So if your child's into running, or your teen, I've got teenagers and my teens were running it. They can do that as well. So it's $20 for the children. It's only $40. So it's a great price point. And if you register quickly, that comes with a T-shirt, a goodie bag, a race bib. So lots of fun things.
No, I love it. I love it for a multitude of reasons. As you said, you can do it as a family. It gets everybody out there. I love events that promote that. But then I also love what you're saying about like the Battle of the Badges, and you get to see people in law enforcement and, the first responders. You kind of get to see them. Maybe they're wearing their uniform, but out of uniform, kind of out and like as a person, and really enjoying it, because to some people they're heroes and it's like, oh my God, they're out there with their heroes. But then to other people, the idea of law enforcement can be scary. So then it humanizes them at the same time too. So there's both benefits happening at the same time. And I think that's great. And then lastly, Beacon. Beacon is always so beautiful. So to be able to take advantage of that, I think that's incredible. So that is One Too Many, of course. But now could either one of you get into the Paws Pours for prevention that's happening at Benmarl Winery?
Yeah, and another fun one in September. So lots going on in September. That's September 29th. That's at 11 a.m., 11 to 6. That's at Benmarl Winery. And hosted by our friends, Compassion Veterinary, Stone Cottage Veterinary, and, of course, the Benmarl Winery. But what's so special is Compassion Veterinary is also Dr. Speccarelli there.
My cousin-in-law.
Yes.
Yes.
Cares for our service dog piece. So he really, that whole family and the wonderful veterinary center there, they are heavily involved with our organization, making sure that Peace, a service dog has certain needs, unique needs, and just making sure that his health is at an optimal level. So he can provide for those kids. So they take care of Peace for us, and they're really hosting this event that's coming up, the Paws Pours for prevention. We love that. So they secured 3 bands, Circle 65, Pandemonium, and Follow Suit.
Oh, great bands.
Right?
Terrific. I actually just played a festival with a couple of those guys. Terrific.
Yeah, so we're really excited to hear them. This is overlooking the beautiful Hudson Valley River. You've seen the just scenic views there. So we're excited. People again can bring their children. They can bring their dogs.
Peace will be there.
Peace will be there.
So they can take a photo with Peace. They can stop by, see us, ask questions. It is the oldest vineyard in America.
Wow.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Actually, I didn't know that either.
In America.
Sorry, Nick.
Yeah, so it's just they've got some really unique, special history there. Known also for their wood-fired pizzas, besides the great wine that they have. Yeah, and they're very liberal with their tastings there, and so it's going to be just a real fun time, and we hope to see everybody out. It's $35. That's the main entrance, and that will provide you with the tastings, the refreshments, the bands, the music. And then designated drivers are $10, and of course children are free. Just going to be a wonderful time. We hope to see all your listeners out that day. Yeah.
No, that'd be terrific. And of course, all links and information will be in the description of this episode, so you'll be able to find everything. You can register, you can get involved with all of those. And of course, when you got pet-friendly events, why not? Seriously.
Yes.
No, I think that's cool. Whether you have a pet of your own or you just want to appreciate everybody else's pets.
Yeah.
Amazing. So good. Again, you're listening to In Touch, Townsquare Media, the Hudson Valley's award-winning public affairs and issues program. Speaking with Kate and Rachel from the CPCA, Center for the Prevention of Child Abuse. They have a jam-packed September, a lot of fives, their 5th annual One Too Many 5K for their 50th anniversary. I think I got all the fives there.
Yeah.
Terrific. That's happening September 13th through 15th. They have a lot of things going on throughout that weekend. And then, of course, the Paws Pours for Prevention at Benmarl Winery on September 29th. Again, everything is in the description of this episode. Now, guys, before we wrap up, is there any last little nugget that people should know about, either about these events or about the programs that you guys offer?
Just get to know us, get to know, learn the warning signs of how a child, needs help in your neighborhood, in your community. Being aware and having that in your toolkit is just so important to keeping kids safe in our community. And come get to know us. The more they get to know, the more they love.
Absolutely. Kate, do you have anything to add on?
I think Rachel actually summarized that pretty perfectly. Just, having those tools to be able to recognize when a child needs your help, and making sure that the children have those tools to recognize if something is not right in their life. But get to know us. I mean, there's a lot of information we can provide for you, and we have a lot of ways that you can get involved.
Yeah, we're not here to judge. We're here to help.
That's actually a really big thing that you said there. I feel like so many people are always worried about judgment of whatever, or maybe even the people who are like, I feel like I could have done more. I could have done better. I should have done this, should have done that. It's like, you're doing the best with the situation that you got, and the fact that you're looking for help, that says a lot. So, yeah, I love that right there. So I'm glad that you mentioned that. I'm glad that you said that.
We want families to stay. We want to keep families together. We want to support them. We have a parenting program. So we've seen it all, heard it all. There's nothing that will surprise us. We're there to help.
And, of course, if you're needing help, you can go to the CPCA website and you can meet up with them in person at any of these events and see how beautiful and community-driven this whole thing is. Kate, Rachel, thank you guys so much for being here on this episode of In Touch.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. This has been this week's edition of In Touch, the award-winning public affairs and issues program that runs across Townsquare Media, the Hudson Valley radio stations. We want to give a big thank you to Rachel and Kate. For more information, visit thecpca.org. Of course, all links and information can be found in the description of this episode. Whether you've been listening for a while or you just joined us, Thank you. You can find In Touch episodes new and old on your favorite streaming services like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and more. That and listen on demand with your Townsquare radio station mobile app. Of course, you can still find all articles and audio under the In Touch tab on this radio station's app and website. And don't forget, we're also on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram at InTouch_HV. I've been your host, Conor Walsh. Until next time, stay curious, keep an open mind, and as always, I'm glad we get to spend some time.